Would you love to deepen your spiritual connection and create a conscious shift in your life? Do you seek answer to human experience? Well, welcome to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. It's a 2.5-hour safe haven for your questions and Spirit's answers. And you can transform your life right now on VCMG in South Florida. Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor, coach, and medium who can assist you to connect the light within and transcend beyond the limits of all possible experience and knowledge. For the next 2.5 hours, listen and call in toll free 866-9-SARAHS. That's 866-972-7247. And watch Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube and share love and light.
The world is changing now, and we don't know where to go. The world is different now, and people have lost their way. It's just not easy to be who we want to be, 'cause the world is changing now. We can't walk the way we did. We don't know the path. We have to listen to our heart. The ways that worked before, they don't work anymore. We have lost our love for everyone. We have hurt each other. The world is changing now. It's asking us to move along, to open up a different way of loving one another. We can't stay the same. We've lost the game of life. We can't run away anymore. The world is changing now. We need to heed the warning. The world is calling you to rise above where you've been. The world is changing now. What we did before doesn't work. It's time for you. It's time for me to change. The world is changing now. Won't you change and open your heart? Open your heart.
Yes, indeed. Open your heart right here on VCMG. We are answering your questions on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah all across the nation at 866-972-7247. And we're so glad to connect with you on this summer solstice. It's a hot summer in the city. Yes, indeed. Things are going to heat up. And here in sunny South Florida, we're getting ready to fry some eggs on the pavement because things are heating up for the summer. And we trust you're going to have a fabulous, fabulous summer. But remember, this time of year is really about another start, another season, another way to look at life. And it is the day with the longest amount of daylight. So set your intentions. Choose what you want to create by visualizing and seeing things in completion. Very often we visualize what we want, but we don't really see ourselves participating in the experience. And it's so important that you participate in the experience in your visualization. See yourself at that new job, or see yourself with that new partner. See yourself in a financial free state. This is important in the creation process, and feel the feeling. We know things have changed around us, and we've all been witnessing those changes. But each one of us has the power to shift through changes no matter what comes our way. And we've had challenges. And tonight we're going to talk about challenges. What are the challenges that you've been faced with, and how have challenges really set you in a place that you could receive a blessing or have a victory and move you up? Sometimes we just don't want to make changes, and so a challenge comes along and forces our hand. Sometimes we find difficulty in ending a relationship, and so something will challenge us and force us to end the relationship. Not all challenges are meant to bring us down, but they feel that way. Have you ever felt overwhelmed and challenged financially, and we just feel like we can't get on top of the bills, and you're just feeling overwhelmed? And that causes you to take a look at what you're spending money on, and how you're expensing things, and what you are looking at for a job. And maybe we need to look at a different job. How can we change our job? So we begin to look at life through a different lens, because we're being asked to go and grow. And challenges are really never about bringing you down. They're about expansion. And a challenge comes to you when you least expect it, right? That's why they call it a challenge. If we could plan for the challenges, where would the growth spurt be? Challenges are facing us every day, but then there are those that bring us to our knees. And maybe some of you listening, you're in one of those challenges where life has you at your knees, and you think, how am I going to get out of this? How is something going to shift? I can't see my way out. And the key to really being in the energy of a challenge and coming out the other side successful and victoriously, the way we do that is we have to surrender. We have to surrender and allow opportunities to present themselves, allow the angels, the guides, allow God to reveal himself and the power that's there available for all of us. Now, let's talk about these challenges. These challenges are very unique to each one of us. And some of us have been taught how to have a challenge in a way that we learned from our parents. So our parents have shown us different things, and we've learned how they handle challenges. And so we have the same reactory patterns. Maybe your parents would get tense and they'd fight and they'd argue, and maybe your one parent would be the ostrich and put their head in the sand, and the other parent would have to figure out how to solve the problem, and you would watch one retreat and one go full forge ahead. What is your lesson in life that you've witnessed as to how you can change the outcome, right? How have we changed things in our lives, and where can we see a different outcome? And how is that possible for each one of us when we're faced with a challenge? If we only know the way our parents have shown us. And then we've observed other people along the way. But when a challenge hits close to home, there's nothing like it. No one can prepare you for the challenge that catches you off guard. Maybe it's a health challenge. I just spoke with a client yesterday, and she got some news that was very off-putting to her, and she really couldn't understand why this was happening to her. And here she is now trying to make a choice as to what to do next to handle the challenge, to overcome the health challenge. And we have to go within because intuitively we all know the best way to handle a challenge. I remember when I was working for myself, I was in sales, I was selling cosmetics, I was part of the Mary Kay Cosmetics organization. And I remember when my father had shared with me that he was opening up this country club in New Jersey, and the country club had experienced a fire, and this fire caused it to be rebuilt. So he took on the project and he rebuilt the country club in exchange for the rights for 15 years to run the catering of this fabulous country club in New Jersey. And he said, you should move to be closer. And since I worked from home and I made my own hours and I was out in sales connecting with people, it really didn't matter where I lived. But I remember thinking, I don't want to go, because I remember feeling like there were going to be challenges. Like I was in my cozy nook. Are you in your cozy nook where things are just fine and you don't want to like tempt anything to go wrong? So I was in that little cozy nook. Everything was fine. I had everything the way I wanted it. And I jumped up and I said, okay, I'll do it. You know, there was that obligatory feeling of I should do it. And then there was the feeling of like, all right, it's a new adventure. I'll move to Jersey. At the time I was in New York State. And I said, all right, I'll go. And the minute I got there, I had that feeling. And I began to be faced with many little challenges. But the biggest challenge, unbeknownst to me, was going to be 9 months after I arrived. And it was this moment in time where my father fell ill, and then within 3 weeks he had passed. Now that's a challenge, right? And here I am in this place, not knowing many people and connected to his business, but not working for his business. I had my own thing, but I was like the lookout. I was the person who lived closer. And then I had to assist in the dismantling of the business and the maintaining of it for a while, and then the dismantling of it and passing it on to someone else to own the rights. And it was a really tough time because during that time, I had things that I was creating and moving forward. You know, challenges don't wait for when you've got nothing else going on. They always show up when you've got a lot of positive things happening, and then something comes from left field and bam, slams you down. And I remember I was like, how are we going to handle all of this? And I remembered that feeling that I had, that I knew intuitively, and this is before I even knew about intuition, that something was going to happen. And so that challenge proved to be a 3-year challenge that changed my life. Literally took everything, broke it down into almost nothing, and forced me to create a new version of life. Because at that time, I was also just found out I was pregnant. So imagine I'm pregnant, and a few weeks later I'm finding out my father's ill and not expecting that he's ill and was going to die, and then he passes. And so that was a lot to process. And then I'm self-employed and I'm trying to do what I need to do for myself, and it was a lot. And in this journey of the family that I was creating in my life, in my marital life, and the journey that I was on, I now was faced with all these things that were so unexpected. And so those times, they bring you to your knees, and you really don't know how you're going to react until you're there. And I remember feeling this sense of life would never be the same, as we've all experienced at times when we lose someone that we're very close to. And I remembered feeling that I had to be strong. And you dig down deep, right? And you find this strength that you don't know you have. And all of you, I promise you, you've got a strength inside that's superhuman. You just haven't had the opportunity to tap into it. And it comes when you need it the most. And sometimes we may never need it. So it's there waiting for you. And no matter what the challenges that you're faced with, you can definitely overcome it. And so in this journey of reinventing and kind of closing out chapters, I had to take a good look at where I was and what was fulfilling to me. And that was the beginning of the path that helped me be in a different place, leave the cosmetic industry, decide I wanted to do something corporate, and then open the door of possibilities for me to meet my spiritual teacher. But if I hadn't made a move that I wasn't comfortable with and gone through that challenge and felt that that challenge caused me to reflect, and that challenge caused me to reflect and say, there's got to be something more. I'm enjoying motivating people in the cosmetic arena. I'm enjoying helping people, making them look and feel pretty. But I want to feel more challenged. I felt that life wasn't challenging me enough. Isn't that funny, right? I got tremendously challenged and didn't know how I was going to handle it. And now I was looking for challenge. And so I wanted to challenge myself to grow and learn an industry that I really knew nothing about. But I did know the sales arenas. So I knew how to sell and I knew what to do. So I decided to go that path. And it was because I took that challenge on, and that challenge didn't bring me to my knees, didn't throw me into a depression that I couldn't get out of. I fought long and hard to rectify the grief that I felt. And I'll also throw into the story of that challenge was then coupled by, a few months later, the loss of my grandmother, my mother's mother, my other best friend, and all while I was pregnant. That's a lot. And there were times I was like, I don't know how I'm going to get through this. But as I was in that moment of trying to figure out how, I just always felt this energy come from within that was the strength. And so fast forward, when I met the gentleman who began to teach me about spiritual things and his wife and become familiar with a world that I knew nothing of. I really did. I knew the Bible. I knew my connection to God, but I didn't know it in the feeling. I didn't know what intuition was. I didn't know what a miracle really was. I didn't know that we have the power to collaborate with the divine and create a miracle. I knew nothing of that. And here I am learning about computers and selling of computers and equipment to big corporations. And I'm learning about a whole side of life. I think the real meaning of life, the spiritual meaning at the same time. And what made this so fabulous, and this is why I want you all to look at these challenges no matter how horrific they may feel when you're going through them, and I understand that. I want you to look at, there's always something good coming out of something that seems really devastating. And in this devastation and my choice to reevaluate and reinvent myself, I now was opening up and having a new platform that I had to learn and grow within and produce, right? Because there was a pressure to produce. And I now had these new ways of looking at life. So rather than pick up a phone and make a phone call and connect with someone just in the cerebral fashion and the relationship fashion that I had been trained to do, I was able to now go and gear up with a spiritual power behind me and approach it with the talents that I had developed, but now have this sense of spirit, this sense of God, this sense of there's something supporting me, a universal flow. And that if I prepare myself and my energy, I can get a positive outcome. If I feel the outcome, if I recognize that I can listen to what my client wants and deliver, but I can deliver it with a heartfelt connection and build relationship and put the power of the angels and God within the relationship that I'm building with this new client, then I'm building a solid foundation. Now, that doesn't mean that my family or your families, that they haven't done their best and given us solid foundations. They have. And we have been shaped in the way we've been meant to be shaped. There's no accidents. You are where you are with the people that you are. You were born of the family that you were born of for a reason. Even if sometimes you want to just say, I wish I didn't know them. I know some people have family dynamics that are uncomfortable, and I get that. But you have this ability to look at where you've been and transcend through it And that's what a challenge does. A challenge gives you an opportunity to transcend through the challenge and bring yourself to a higher level of connection with the divine, a higher level of understanding of self, and a more genuine way of interacting with others. And then moving the harmony of an entire universe and allowing that to weave into every relationship that you create. This is powerful. This is a new way of being. And in this new way of being, you have this opportunity to restructure and rebuild your life. So a challenge, even if it's financial, how many of us have been through a financial hard time? Right? Probably everyone at one point or another. And it causes you to, again, look at your finances, look at where you've been, look at what you could do differently, evaluate your job, and choose something else or do something that causes you to stretch, right? It was a devastating challenge that made me evaluate where I was and what the meaning was I wanted my life to have and how I wanted to grow. And you see, here's the part that I didn't understand at the time that I understand now. And again, I promise you, as you're going through things, you're going to understand more when you look back. You know, hindsight's 20/20. What I didn't understand is that this thirst, this quest for my growth and something different really wasn't this way of life in the world of, oh, I need to change careers. I need to do something different. That was just what was relatable to me because that's all I knew. It was really my soul speaking to me during the challenge saying, it's time to change, little girl. There's a whole world you know nothing about. And it's not governed by your salary or how people view you and whether your role is a VP or a director or a supervisor. It is viewed by how you interact with others and how you reflect the presence of God in all you do. So my soul was trying to get me on that path. And step one was to put me in the right place at the right time to meet a spiritual mentor to open me up to a world I didn't know existed. So what we do when we're in a challenge is we're very myopic. We're looking at the problem and we're trying to fix the problem and we don't know what we're going to do. And we squeeze our energy and we block out all the different possibilities of the universe. That's why I tell you, you've got to surrender. You've got to surrender. Even if you created your challenge, even if you look back and you go, Jiminy Crickets, what was I thinking? I just made a mess of things and now I'm in a pickle. Take the critical voice away. Recognize there was a misstep, yes, but don't criticize self. Everyone makes a misstep. And look at the challenge and give yourself the opportunity to move yourself in the direction of creating a new paradigm, a new life, a new way of being. We all have that ability. Don't let your challenges bring you down. Let your challenges lift you up. And if you're in that dark spot, know you're not alone. That we all have been there, and that even when you don't know someone who can share their story with you or reaffirm that this too shall pass and you'll be all right, if you don't have it in the physical, the angels, the guides, they all know that you need support, and they're showing up for you, they're holding space, and they're assisting you on the path of your journey so that now you can create a new destiny for yourself. We are so glad to have you here tonight on this summer solstice. We're glad to share time and space with you. We're answering your questions here on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, heard on the Oldies station, VCMG, at 95.9, 106.9, 93.3, 96.9, 1470 AM, and 103.1 HD3. And if you're just joining us, you're driving in the car, I'm Sarah Spiritual. We're here every Wednesday night from 6:30 to 9 p.m. And this is our 686th live show. So glad to have you here. We would love for you to stay tuned because when we come back, we're going to go to our phone lines at 866-972-7247, answer your questions. And we're also going to go to our friends on Facebook and YouTube and answer questions there as well. So stay with us, everyone. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
And we different now, and people have lost their way. It's just not easy to be who we want to be, 'cause the world is changing now. We can't walk the way we did. We don't.
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 866-9-SARAHS. That's 866-972-7247.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
Need help with your finances? You need Keith Singer. Review your income plans, tax strategies, estate plans, and more with Keith Singer. Listen to Singer Wealth Sunday mornings at 7 a.m. right here on the True Oldies channel and singerwealth.com.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
This is Matt Crowder live at the gas station on 41st Street reporting on those skyrocketing gas prices. Excuse me, miss, are you buying less gas now because of the high prices?
Oh, I never pay full price for gas anymore. I just use the free Upside app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute, are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yes, I get real cash back every time I buy gas.
Well, does that actually add up to anything?
I've made around $200.
Wow. Well, there you have it. Stop paying full price for gas. Download the free Upside app and get real cash back every time you buy gas. This is Matt Crowder Radio News Network. Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code LOT for an extra 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or any gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code LOT for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code LOT.
WWNN Pompano Beach, WIRK HD3 Indiantown. Programming paid for by Vic Canales Media Group. Broadcasting from the Robe Studio. Injured recently? Call the Robes Law Group, where winning is a habit. 561-570-5700. 561-570-5700. Robes, winning for you and our community. Your home for the True Oldies channel.
You know, a good home security system has a bajillion parts. You got your motion sensors, glass break detectors, camera lenses, signal relays, but none of that really matters if you don't have one important piece, a human being. That's right, a real human being. When a Sloman's Home Security Advisor visits a home, they get to know the people that live there. They listen and learn. That's how they come up with the best solution to keep you safe. Yeah, you can buy all those fancy gadgets yourself, but what good are they without the humans behind the technology? Sloman's believes in their people so much, they give you the technology for free. So, not only do you get a human security advisor, you get a customized home security system with professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. The system includes LED touchscreen pad, a motion detector, 3 armed doors, and backup battery. But most importantly, the people who stand behind it. So call Sloman's at 1-833-283-5050. That's 1-833-283-5050. Sloman's, the difference is human.
Have you been to Chowderheads in Jupiter yet? If you are looking for the best seafood in town, you have to try Chowderheads. You'll love their authentic New England seafood, flown in fresh from Boston. Their award-winning lobster rolls, clam chowder, and fried oysters are absolutely delicious. Come taste it for yourself. You will want to keep coming back for more at Chowderheads, located in the Driftwood Plaza on South US Highway 1 in Jupiter. Now open 7 days a week. For reservations or to go, call 561-203-2903 or check out their menu at chowderheadsusa.com.
So, Do you have hay fever?
I do have hay fever pretty
Can
bad.
I tell you what's so great for hay fever?
What's that?
The Bloomers Frozen Drink CBD mixers. It's great for this time of the year because it's so restorative. So Bloomers Frozen Drinks has CBD, but I'll tell you what else they have that's really amazing. They have Frosé Mix. So if you like frozen wine cocktails, frozen sangria, frozen rosé, Bloomers Frosé Mix is the best one. And it's the #1 selling drink mix on Amazon. So you can pick it up there. It's prime, it's quick, it's fast. But all the Bloomers products are available on bloomersfrozendrinks.com.
I was going to say, I think I've seen them in local liquor stores too.
They are. And we have a new brand launching called Ben's Badass Bloody Mary Mix. So look for that because we're going to have our resting brunch face on.
This sounds perfect. Once again, I'm going to go to bloomersfrose.com.
Thank you.
Hi, this is Joe Thomas from the Jupiter Joe Money Show. What if I told you there was a retirement strategy where your money wasn't all at risk? I have guaranteed options to keep your money safe without losing a penny in the market. Your money grows when the market goes up, and most importantly, you never lose a penny when the market drops. Doesn't that sound like a better retirement strategy? Get a free copy of my book by going to jupiterjoe.com or calling 561-743-0999. Get a copy of my free book, Retirement Know-It-All, by going to jupiterjoe.com today.
Hurricane season is here. Millions of people live in hurricane evacuation zones in Florida. This means that if an evacuation needs to happen, a lot of people need to get on the road. But if you're halfway full, you're halfway there. Keeping your gas tank at least half full during hurricane season ensures you won't have to wait in long lines to get gas when it's time to go. And you don't have to travel hundreds of miles. A half a tank of gas can easily get you to a safe location that's tens of miles away. For more tips, visit halfwayfullhalfwaydare.com.
This message is sponsored by the Florida Division of Emergency Management, Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this radio station.
Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit sarahspiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up.
Hi, I'm Sarah Spiritual, the founder of the Expedito Enlightenment Center. I would love for you to visit me at my spiritual oasis located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard in the Tree of Life Plaza in West Palm Beach. Come, feel the energy, sample my spiritual sprays and oils, participate in one of my spiritual development classes, and have a personal reading with me, Sarah Spiritual. Let's see what Spirit has to say. You can call the Expedito Enlightenment Center at 561-682-0955. Not local? Visit me, Sarah Spiritual, at sarahspiritual.com for products, classes, and to book your personal session.
This show is furnished by Sarah Spiritual.
The content, information, and opinions expressed during the related show are those of the show personalities and guest alone, and not those of Vic Canellis Media Group, its parent, affiliates, or stations. VCMG Live is not responsible for any content, information, or opinions expressed. User bears full responsibility for their reliance on such content, information, or opinions.
Welcome back to the next 2 hours of Spiritually Speaking with Sarah as we continue our uplifting and empowering spiritual discussions to transform your life. A gifted spiritual advisor, coach, and medium, Sarah Spiritual will assist you to connect to the light within and transcend beyond the limits of all experience and knowledge. We have another 2 hours to listen and call in 866-9-SARAHs. That's 866-972-7247. And watch Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube, and you can share the love and light.
The world is changing now. and we don't know where to go. The world is different now, and people have lost their way. It's just not easy to be who we want to be, 'cause the world is changing now. We can't walk the way we did. We don't know the path. We have to listen to our heart, the ways that worked before, they don't work anymore. We have lost our love for everyone.
We are back here live, and we are answering your questions right here on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah all across the nation at 866-972-7247. And we're so glad to be connecting to all of you. And we're welcoming our friends on Facebook and YouTube. If you're on Facebook, be sure to share the page, share the light, share the love. We've got an exciting Wednesday coming up. Those of you here in local to us here in South Florida, we would love to have you be our guest at our radio show live at the Expedito Enlightenment Center next Wednesday night. That's June 28th. Doors open at 6:15. You do have to get a ticket, so we do ask that you go to sarahspiritual.com to register and get your entry ticket. And we're giving prizes away. Oh, do we have prizes for you? We've got prizes and grand prizes. And if you'd like to be entered in our grand prize drawing, we would love to have you at the center, and we'd love to see you there. We are giving away a cruise to the Bahamas, 3 days and 2 nights. We would love to have you be one of the recipients of this fabulous Margaritaville at the Sea cruise that we are giving away. We're not giving away 1. We're not giving away 2. We're giving away 3. It is our 14-year national radio anniversary, and we are celebrating all of you. But you've got to have a ticket. You've got to be registered. You've got to be in it. And if you'd like to ask a question live on the radio show and get to be a part of our studio audience, this is the place for you. So we would love to have you join us in West Palm Beach. Go to sarahspiritual.com and join the conversation and the celebration for us as we celebrate the connections that we've had. It'll be our 687th live show next week, and we are so excited to have been with you all of these years. So we're going to go to our phone lines at 866-972-7247, and then we are going to go to Facebook and YouTube in just a few minutes. But I've got to go to Kamini. Kamini is in New York. Kamini, how are you tonight?
Hey, Sarah, how are you?
I'm good. Good to connect with you, my dear. And what is your question for us? What challenges do you have going? How can we assist you tonight?
Well, I met a new person, and I'm really confused about, like, if he wants a relationship or if he just wants, or if, like, what he wants, because I'm getting, like, mixed messages.
Mixed messages,
so
yeah.
I want to, yeah. So
what is the birthday of this person, please?
Yeah, it's August 8th, 1988.
So right there where I see it right now, this is a time for him to really kind of connect with people. He's very interested in dating. He's very interested in connecting and really finding someone that he feels aligned with. But he's not in a hurry to commit. And that may be what you're picking up. You know, you're looking to meet someone and have a relationship. He's looking to meet people and you being one of them, and he enjoys your company, but he's not looking for anything connected that's serious at this moment. So for you, you want to really put yourself in a place where you can enjoy his company, but not expect anything beyond when he shows up. The mixed message is, I like you, but I'm not really here consistently because I don't want you to think that this is definitely going somewhere, because I'm not prepared to do and say those things. So I'm going to kind of keep you guessing is where he's coming from. He is a great personable person, but I do feel like he has had some challenges with committed relationships before. This is what I'm hearing from the spirit world. So when I hear that, that makes me feel that he may not be ready for a relationship for a very long time, not just the fact that he is kind of looking to see what his options are. All right? So it's really for you to be fully present and enjoy his company, but not for you to get attached to an outcome. Because if I go back in his past and I look at where he is, when I look back to his relationships of 4 years ago, whoever he was with, he's still kind of not back on track from whatever that relationship was in 2019. Don't know what you know about his story, but this is what my guides are telling me.
Yeah, so he's hung up on it still. Okay.
Okay. So if you ask, is he the guy for you? That would be no.
No.
Okay.
I had that feeling. I just didn't really know for sure, because the vibe is good when we're together, but then it throws me off because he's very, like I said, mixed messagey. So I didn't know what to think.
Right. So it's good. There's compatibility. It's just that there can't be consistency because he's not ready to show up and be consistent. Now, if you are enjoying dating him and getting to know some other people and just seeing yourself, what your choices are, which is advisable for you to really pick a better choice than where you've been before, which was kind of like a trap. And it had a transactional feeling of, I need to stay here, I need to do this because this is how I'm going to survive, and this is, what I'm used to. Now we have a clean slate. We want to up-level our choice and have someone who's a partner so that you can create a new life together. And that takes time because we want to sort through the different people and personalities. And as we sort through that, we want to evaluate our own personality and recognize what we can be and do differently in a relationship. It's all an up-leveling for you. But I will tell you, my darling, that this year is a year of lining up with soul relationships, soul partners. So everyone who comes in your life will be coming in for a reason. So everything will be an opportunity to grow, and ideally you'll find your partner as you learn the growth lessons that come before you. All right, Kamini, thank you so much for listening to the show. I want you to know that we appreciate you. I know you've been listening for a very long time, ever since in the very beginning of Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. So I know you won't be present at our event live, but since I have you on the phone, I want to thank you for being a part of this story that we've all been weaving together all across the nation.
Well, I thank you, Sarah, because your advice before you even take the calls on the radio is very uplifting and encouraging and enlightening, too. So I appreciate that.
Thank you so much, honey. God bless you. Keep us posted. Bye for now.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. 866-972-7247. We are answering questions here on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, live call-in show. And next week, we're going to be live at the Expedito Enlightenment Center. Go to sarahspiritual.com. We've got limited seating, and we want to make sure that you get your seat, get your spot. And would you like to be a VIP? Would you like to know that for sure your question's going to be answered? We've got a spot for you right there on the website, on the sign-up. So go to sarahspiritual.com. And if you're in our mailing list, in today's radio show mailing, we gave the information, and tomorrow morning we're sending out a mailing so that you can get yourself your spot for our fabulous celebration. And we're going to go back to our phone lines, and I'll go to New York again. I've got another New Yorker who's also been following the show. I guess New York is in I got a New York state of mind. So let's see what's going on with Miss Hope here. Hope, how are you tonight?
Thank God, I'm doing great. And you?
I'm great, Hope. Thank you so much. And you too. I thank you for following the show on this journey of Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. We appreciate you.
Oh, good. I appreciate you too because your answers are always on point.
Thank you. Thank you. So, Hope, when we look at the energy around you, we having a little difficulty in mobility, something in the leg, the foot, please, or your lower back into the leg. I just feel like your footing, your movement is a little off. Are we feeling a little sore, uncomfortable in that area, please?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Yeah. So we mean you no disrespect, but my guides are being funny, so I'm going to share with you what they're saying, okay? They're doing it to me in song, so here we go. The old gray mare just ain't what she used to be, ain't what she used to be, ain't what she used to be. And that's how you're feeling right now. But I also know
Yes,
that
yes,
you haven't been doing enough to take care of yourself. And, they're giving me this sense, this feeling that you need to kind of be stretching. You're not doing any kind of stretching. You're not doing anything to help your body. Does that make sense to you?
yes,
So we need movement. I know you're working with a patient, correct? We working with a patient?
yes, yes,
So I'm sure a lot of it has a sedentary feel when you're just sitting there with them, and then there's some physical work I'm sure you have to do with them, right? So it's one or the other.
yes.
So Hope needs to take time and invest in Hope to take care of her body, okay?
Okay.
It's really important for you to look into that this year, all right? To really kind
Yes.
of take care of yourself, your physical structure, particularly the muscular skeletal system seems very off. Hope, what is your burning question
Yes.
for us tonight? What's your question?
Yes, it's about my two sons, the
Yes.
second one and the last one.
And what's the question?
Oh, the last one, I don't know what he really wants. And the second one,
Well, your last one, let's start with him. So he's kind of lost his way and he doesn't really have any drive or just
right.
direction. Is this correct? Yeah.
Yes, yes.
And I really feel that he doesn't feel enthusiastic about anything in life either. So when I look at this energy and
Yes.
where he is in the journey, he needs to find some kind of work that's going to enthrall him and make him enthusiastic. He's really got to be participatory in it. And he's kind of become sedentary in the word they're giving me, which I really don't like to use, but he's being lazy. Is this true?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I don't feel that he's got the skill set or the studies behind him to really improve his choices. Is that also true?
Nothing.
Nothing. Yeah, nothing. I don't see him being supported with a strong skill set. What is the month and the day of his birthday, please?
It's April 10th,
Okay.
2003.
So when I look at this energy, this is a time for him to really get things in a better leveling of his life. And he needs balance, and he's out of balance. And when I take him to September to January, this is where there's an opportunity for him to pick a career path. I don't know if you've spoken to him about going to study a trade, something specific to do, but that would suit him best. I don't see him really going the scholastic route. I see him learning a trade and doing a trade so that he has the work that he needs. All right?
Oh, okay.
All right. And your other son, what is their birthday? And quickly, what is the question regarding that other son?
His birthday is the 9th of July,
Okay.
1991. His immigration paperwork, I don't know what taking them so long. He get his KNG number from 2 years
Right.
ago, and until now they cannot call him for his interview.
That's going to change, okay? That is going to change. They are backed up. It is slow. And what I see here is that from his birthday on to his next birthday is the perfect time for him to kind of build a new life, belong to a new place, a new country, and be official, and have this sense of community and belonging. For your son, he takes these things very seriously, and it tends to make him feel very depressed, right? He feels very down about this.
Yes.
And part of
Yes.
him is worried he's wasted all this time, right? But he has not wasted
Yes.
time.
Yes.
It is going to come. They're talking to me about November. So I feel like we should have a correspondence from them by November, and November opens up the next step for him. And then as I look into 2024, he should be all set to go to get sworn in. So he's got to stay on the straight and narrow. Remember, this is in the last minute where sometimes people do one little thing that's just kind of not focused and sends us spiraling down. So you just tell him, hold the vision, hold the goal in mind, and do not waver, and just really be the good guy that he is so that everything can come together for him. All right?
Oh, okay.
All right,
Okay.
Hope. Thank you so
very
much.
dear.
Pleasure talking
You
to you
are
again.
awesome.
Thank you.
You
I
are
appreciate that.
awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
When you're coming back to New York, I'm longing to see you.
Well, there is something coming up in Brooklyn that I'd like to get to, so we have it on our wish list of something to do. So we're going to see if we can make it to Brooklyn. So ideally, we will be able to see you at an event we're going to do there. All right, Brooke.
Okay.
All right, Hope.
Great.
Thank you so much. All right. Bye for now.
You're welcome. Okay. Bye.
866-972-7247. We're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors, and then when we come back, we're going to go to Facebook and YouTube. Be sure to have your questions ready, and of course, we're going to visit our friends back on our phone lines, and we are looking to speak to you all across the nation. 866-972-7247. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
I've been standing in the room before I walk through the door.
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 866-9-SARAHS. That's 866-972-7247.
Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit sarahspiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up.
Come visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center for an extensive array of spiritual products, crystals, books, classes, readings, and healing services in a beautiful spiritual oasis. You must visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Come feel the energy and explore our unique products. Arrange for your own personal spiritual reading with Sarah Spiritual for spiritual insight. The Expedito Enlightenment Center is located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard, Suite 129 in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955. Visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. That's EXPEDITO enlightenmentcenter.com for yourself. Or for a thoughtful gift, there's no better place to visit than the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955 or visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com.
You are listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah Spiritual and be in the energy of light. Call right now, Sarah Spiritual, at 866-9-SARAHS. That's toll free, 866-972-7247. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube.
Standing in the room before I walk through the door. Do you know me? Have you heard me? Have you seen me? Do you know my voice? Did you call me with your song? Because you know that you know me. Every soul.
Yes, indeed. Every soul has its story. And what's your story here on VCMG? We are answering your questions at 866-969. Oh my goodness, 866. Oh my God, 972-7247. And we are all across the nation talking to all of you. And we're answering our friends on Facebook and YouTube. So we're going to pull up some questions on Facebook and YouTube. And if you're on hold, we're going to get to you in just a minute. Let's see who we've got on our Facebook and our YouTube page. Let's see who we've got on our questions here. Let's see. So, hi, Sarah. Happy solstice. My mother-in-law crossed over weeks ago wondering if she has a message for me or my husband. And this is from Mary Katie. So, Mary Katie, our condolences in the loss of your mother-in-law. And there's something about her passing that makes me feel at the end something got drawn out, Mary Katie. And I'm feeling this energy connected to your husband, making me feel as if there was a closeness in that connection between the two of them, and that she wants you to know she's in this energy of a peace. There's a peace around her. It's a little bit soon for me to make a connection to give you a specific sense of her, because she's in the process of this crossing over, but there is this strong connection of the relationship between her and your husband. And the sense I have is that there was a little drawn out period of time before she crossed over here on earth. And then when she left the earth, she began to just transcend to the other side. And it's almost as if she wasn't ready to go, didn't want to go. She tried to hold on. That's the sense that I'm getting from her energy. Check back with us in the next few months and we'll be able to bridge the connection and connect to her in her totality of her ability and energy to communicate. Thank you so much, Mary Katie, for your YouTube question. Who else do we have on our Facebook and our YouTube page? Let's take a look and see who we've got. There we go. We're going to change the screen. Yes. Do we have another question for us? There we go. Brittany Amber. Hi, Sarah. Do you see me going to college anytime soon? And if so, do I see it happening? Happen to see what field? She'd love to work with children somehow. Brittany Amber, I don't see you going to college just yet. I feel as if we have about another 8 months. Really feel that January 2024 is a good time for you. I feel like there's a lot on your plate. There's a lot for you to juggle, Brittany Amber. So now's the time to continue to solidify your unity in your family and build relationships with your children and your partner so that the two of you are financially sound and in a good place while you take on the journey of college. When I look at the energy of your working with children, being a teacher could be a very powerful tool for you. I also feel that something that helps children, they're giving me something along the lines of a counselor or a speech therapist, which is kind of an interesting thing for them to say to me, but they're saying something in speech therapy. Perhaps that's something that you can look into and see what's involved and if that's something you would like to do. But they're saying something in speech therapy, assisting children would be really beautiful for you. Thank you, Brittany Amber, for your Facebook question. We're going to take one more question from our friends on Facebook and on YouTube. Let's see who we've got here. We've got Joyous. And Joyous says, here's my birthday, here's his birthday. Do I see better communication and time spent between us? And if so, when? All right. Well, complicated little story here. So he's really working on some things with himself, and he's really not sure where he wants to be and go with his journey of his career and his work. There's something new that he's looking to embark upon, and I feel like he's very preoccupied with other things in life and not really able to be fully present in the relationship. And for you, my dear, you are on this journey of really kind of changing your whole life and the whole way you see yourself. You're kind of breaking some routines and really stepping in to a new way of being. I do feel this relationship has a lot of positive factors to it. You're both going through your own specific changes. His is more external in the world. Yours is more internal, and you're learning to redesign from within out to manifest. So let's look at this relationship, and we'll know more in the month of October. My guides say we got to get through July and August. So whatever the divide is that's coming there between time and not enough time spent, this is where the two of you are going to have to hunker down and be patient and remember what you admire about each other so that you can create long-lasting communication. I know sometimes he's a little spotty, so once we make it through the summer, we should be able to have built a better form of communication, and then you'll know if he's able to show up for you in the love languages that work for you. Thank you, Joyous, for your YouTube question. We're going to pull one more from our friends in Facebook and YouTube before we go back to our phone lines, and let's see who we have next here. Okay. Well, I guess we're going to go back to the phone lines. 866-972-7247. And I've got to go to Angie. Angie Baby is in Naples. Angie, how are you tonight, Angie? Good to have you here.
I'm good, Sarah. How are you?
I am great, Angie. Good to connect with you again. And what is your burning question for us tonight?
I want to kind of know what direction to go in as far as where I'm moving, if I need to buy a house. I'm kind of like stuck. I don't really know what I'm doing.
Okay. Well, we have a primary residence, correct?
I'm actually renting a home right now.
Okay. We're renting a home, and this is the house that went through some difficulties during the storm. Is this the same house?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Are you considering looking to buy by the end of this summer? Is that what you're looking to do?
I was thinking about it. I don't know, because my lease is coming up, and I don't really know if I want to like rent somebody else's property again, or if I should ask this owner if he wants to sell. I don't really know where I want to be, honestly.
Okay. So we don't want to commit. We don't want to commit to a place if we're not sure we want to be there, right? When I look at the energy, your lease is up when? By the end of August, August 31st? When is your lease up?
Yep, August 31st.
Oh, thank God my spirit guides read the contract for you, honey. So it's a short, I know, it's kind of crazy, right? It's a short window to go ahead and find a house, to buy a house. I know you're in the industry, but you have to take a look and see, do I have enough time to find what I want? And that's not something I want you to rush, right? So if your lease is up, you could ask for an extension of a lease rather than a complete lease if they're open for that. If you've been a good tenant, they should be willing to do that. And you could entertain the conversation. You never know until you ask if they're willing to sell it. If they are not willing to sell, then you know that if he can extend the lease for a period of time, you've got that window of opportunity to not move to another rental, but find your ideal place. And were you considering kind of stepping a little bit, and I'm not familiar with the area, were you thinking of stepping a little bit outside of Naples, maybe a neighboring town? Is that something that you were considering?
I was. Bonita Springs, it's literally next door.
Okay, that's what I see. So I want you to go look at Bonita Springs and see what appeals to you and get a sense and a feel. If you can, take this weekend, if you're not busy with your own clients, and take a look and see what pulls you to it, right? You don't know where you want to live, but you are on the right track. I will tell you by confirmation from Spirit that next door, Bonita Springs, would be a good choice for you. Now, finding the right little community and where you want to be, and based on affordability, that too is all part of the story. Now, as we move you into the direction of your creating, once you get that sense of what you want, something's going to open up. And then it's a matter of timing and working with the person that you're renting from, and you ask yourself the question, do I want to buy from him or not? But that answer will be further cleared in your consciousness once we kind of walk around Bonita Springs and really kind of drive and walk and feel where it feels good to you so that you can have this really powerful connection. Does that make sense to you?
It does, yep.
Those are your marching orders. That's what you need to do to make things happen for yourself.
I wanted to tell you one more thing.
Yes.
Sarah, remember when I told you that family member moved to town and you told me it's just a matter of time that I'm going to run into him?
Yes.
And you told me to always look good and everything. Well, the one time I don't look good, he dropped his daughters off at horse camp on Monday, 2 Mondays ago.
Oh, I'm sure you looked marvelous anyhow, but yes.
I just thought it was funny. You said always stay on point and always make sure you have everything, perfect when you leave the house. And the one time I didn't, I run into him after knowing he lived here for a year and a half.
Because that's how it happens, right? So, and it was this thing. I remember my mother used to say, even when you go to the grocery store, you always want to look good because you never know who you're going to run into. And imagine the day you run into maybe somebody, and she was like kind of talking in the future because I was a little too young to have really had anybody like break up with me or anything like that. But what if you run into that boyfriend that broke up with you? You would want him to see you looking good, right? And I was like, well, that makes sense, right? So I always had that idea that you want to kind of, go out and present your personal best. You never know who you're going to run into. And I just always kind of kept that with me. But I had a feeling you were going to run into him when you least expected. And I wanted you to be on your A game as far as your external appearances, how you would want him to see you after all this time. But I'm sure that your paths are going to cross again. Now it's a matter of the law of attraction because your paths have crossed. The energy is now connected. So you're going to run into him again. So I'll give you the same advice. Okay?
Well, horse camp starts again next week, so I'm going to make sure I'm on point.
Make sure you're on point here. You can't wear high heels at horse camp, but yes, be on point. All right, my dear, thank you so much for your call, and let us know how the journey to Bonita Springs is looking, and we look forward to hearing the news.
All right,
bye
thank
for
you
now.
so much, Sarah.
You're
Appreciate
welcome.
it.
I appreciate you.
All right.
Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye. 866-972-7247. We are answering your questions all across the nation. And I've got to go to Sunita. Sunita is in Virginia. Sunita, how are you?
I'm good, Sarah. How are you?
I am great. Good to connect with you again. And also thank you. I know you've been following the show for a while, and our paths have been connected and crossed because of our center for a very long time, so I really appreciate you. What is your burning question for me tonight, Sunita?
I wanted to know about love.
Particular person that we want to ask about?
10/18/82.
Not quite connecting in the full, complete commitment capacity that you would like to after all this time that we've invested. Is this true? That's the sense I'm getting. Yes?
Yeah.
Yeah. I just don't know that he's ready yet. And I know you're going to be like, well, when is he going to be ready? What is the holdup? What? Because right, you're like, come on, like, what's going on, right? And he's just not ready to say this is my next new life officially, and cross all the T's and dot the I's. And there's an interesting thing about him. There's a sensitivity about him, and I feel as if he holds on to the past. He holds on to memories. He holds them near and dear, almost like he feels like by creating a new life, he's disrespecting memories. There's a part of him that feels that way. And I also feel that if he's never that committed, and hear what I'm about to say, that committed where he's all in, like everything's lined up and he's 100% there, and everything he's doing is about this union, this unity between you and his family and the connection that he wants to have with you. It's not that he doesn't want, that sets him up for feeling as hurt as he did before, and he never wants to hurt that way again. So I feel like there's a piece of him holding back. Does that make sense to you, Sunita?
Mhm. Yeah.
And we can't rush that, and we can't make that happen. So then the ball goes back into your court, right? And the ball goes back into your court, and that says, do you want to give more time? Is this the man that you can't imagine being without? Is this where you want to be? Are you willing to just have it be this way for a period of time now, still indefinitely? Because I don't feel him ready to say, let's get married, let's have a baby, let's do this. And I know you want things in your life to unfold. And we can't convince, cajole, force somebody to do something that they're not ready to do. Because that, I promise, will always blow up in our face. Sometimes people kind of go along with us because we're so persistent, right, as people, and we persist in what we want, and eventually they're like, yeah, okay, it makes sense. Yeah, we've been together this long, and they go. And it doesn't mean they don't want to be there, but there was a part of them that wasn't ready, and that falls apart. So the last thing we want you to do is to finally get everything together, but he's not fully present, and then it falls apart.
Mhm.
And I know that he feels I'm going to use the word dissatisfaction or disappointment, that things have not progressed in the way you'd like. Is that true?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he kind of puts that back on you, like it's about you. And he's not responsible for how you feel. He can only do what he feels comfortable with. So you're at a bit of an impasse, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. Does he love you? Yes. Is he happy? Is he happy to have that family time, that connection with you? Yes. Is he ready to put his heart on the line? Not 100%. Because if everything falls apart and he loses someone in whatever way, this is how his mind works, not saying that's what's going to happen, then he just doesn't know how he'd start all over again, and he's become comfortable with the way things are. So you have to decide whether you choose to pursue this relationship and stay this course, or mentally in your mind, without giving him an ultimatum, say, if this is not a certain way within this period of time, and if I'm not feeling differently within myself and feeling like my needs and desires are met, then I'm going to, choose to bow out. You have the ability to say that to yourself. Didn't say to him. Can't give people ultimatums. Can't force their hand. But you can have a conversation with yourself and say, all right, my life is passing me on, and this is the direction I'd love my life to go. But maybe I need to take a step back and see what else comes up for me. Maybe the universe has an even better version of it. And because I'm being resistant to other possibilities, I keep getting the same result and my wheels are spinning. And that's maddening to you, because staying still and spinning is like not fun for anybody, but for you, it's definition of insanity, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Watch your words next month. Next month is going to be a highly charged time for relationships, so watch your words. Because he also is sensitive, and once you cross a line, it's hard to take back what you said because he doesn't forget. So don't say anything you can't take back. All right?
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome, honey. Bye for now. 866-972-7247. And from Virginia, we've got to go to Denise, and she's in Pembroke Pines, Florida. Denise, how are you?
Good. How are you, Sarah?
I'm doing well. Good to connect with you again, Denise. And this is the perfect time for you to really evaluate what you want to do next and how you're going to. The word I get from Spirit is streamline. We need to streamline things, yes?
Yes.
Okay. Are we closing an office, Denise?
No. No.
Was there a thought of streamlining and closing an office?
No, not at all.
Okay. What's the question about your workplace, your office?
No, I don't have any questions about the office. I took your advice and went back to basics to start all over. Really, I'm looking at health issues right now. That's more what I'm looking at than anything else.
Okay. Well, there is something, and I'm going to continue with what Spirit gave me, okay? Because remember, I looked beyond where we are. I do see further streamlining and something changing in an office or possibly closing an office. So we have our two offices, correct? And I feel like there's a streamlining that has to happen to make things more effective for you, efficient for you. And we may kind of combine the offices under one roof. There's some streamlining is the word they give me.
That.
Okay.
Yeah, but we can't do that. Each county has to have their own office.
Okay, I understand. So something's going to get streamlined. Maybe you're going to move from one office to another. Just remember I said this, right? A lot of times we talk about things and we're like, okay, we don't know what Spirit's talking about. And then something comes. I don't see it as a bad thing. I see it as an efficiency thing. I see it as a way to generate more revenue and be more effective in the workplace. What is the health question? I am not a doctor, can't give medical advice, but what is the question for me?
Well, do you see a surgery coming?
Is there a trip that you're supposed to take soon too?
We're thinking about it, but not until maybe
September, October?
August or September.
Okay. I see a trip in September. Okay.
Yeah.
But I do feel like there's a surgery that you're going to have. I do see that.
Okay.
And I feel like there's a necessity to it in the healing process. Yes? Are you feeling that way as well?
Well, I've already seen an ortho and I'm doing physical therapy, so we're doing this to kind of prolong surgery.
Okay. But I do see a surgery coming. Like it's probably inevitable. So you want to be really focus on that, okay? Focus on the healing.
I will.
All right. Well, Denise, keep us posted. We will send the healing angels with you to fill you with light and ask Archangel Raphael to surround you with healing. And you be diligent and do as many things as you can to reduce inflammation in the physical body. Do some research as to the foods and the holistic measures that are available for you to reduce inflammation. All right. Thanks so much, Denise, for your call. We appreciate you listening to the show. I do know that you have been following us for a very, very long time, and we greatly appreciate it. And we'd love to see you find your way up to the Expedito Center next Wednesday night for our live show. Love to see you there.
Okay,
bye for
great.
now.
I will try. Thank you.
All right.
Okay,
Bye for now.
bye, Sarah.
Yes, bye. 866-972-7247. We are so glad to be sharing time and space with all of you and having this opportunity to connect and answer your questions live on Facebook and live on YouTube, as well as our phone lines. We do ask that you share the page, share the light, share the love. And if you're following us on YouTube, be sure to click that button that says, I'm going to follow Sarah Spiritual. We would love to have you learn about all the different shows we've done in the past and the music that I channel. We're very privileged to have Spirit channel through me some fabulous music. And we've got some fabulous products at the Expedito Center. So if you're local to us in West Palm Beach, somewhere here in South Florida, we'd love to have you at the Expedito Enlightenment Center. If you can't come for our live show, well, the center's open Tuesday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. And there you'll find a very wide array of crystals and herbs and sprays and oils and baths and books and statues, all types of things that are so valuable for your spiritual practices and aligning you to the divine. So you can learn more about the center at the ExpeditoEnlightenmentCenter.com, and we welcome you at the center anytime. And if you'd like a personal reading with me, Sarah Spiritual, we do that live at the center during the week, and we also have phone sessions for those of you who are not local. You can go to sarahspiritual.com to learn more about my different types of sessions I offer. And also, we have an opportunity on my website. If you go to Sarah Spiritual, you'll notice that for just a few people, if you're looking to build your business, your brand, if you're looking to maybe navigate some changes in life, or maybe you want to build your spiritual connection and you would like to be mentored one-on-one with me, Sarah Spiritual, for a very short time, we are offering a few spots for people to have the opportunity to be mentored one-on-one with me so that we can perfect your gifts or help you build your business and brand or navigate some of life's changes. And I would love to have you be a part of our Mentoring Success program. So visit Sarah Spiritual. You'll find it right on the front page of sarahspiritual.com. And we're going to grab one more call before we go to our commercial break. And I'm going to get Franz in West Palm. Franz, how are you?
Hello.
Hello. Good to have you here.
How are you today?
I am great. Thank you so much. What is your burning question for us, Franz?
I just want to know if I'm on the right way, on the right path with all the decisions that I have made.
Well, you've been working, if I may say, on a lot of changes in your life at this time, correct? And this is a time
Yes.
that you want to close the doors of things that aren't working for you and really have a new beginning, a fresh start for 2024. So my guides tell me, Franz, you're cleaning house. Is that true? We are cleaning house, clearing
Yes.
up, clearing out people, clearing out stuff. And we are like, you are done, 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 done. It's almost like when we were little kids, we went duck, 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 goose. And then somebody had to run. Well, you're like out, 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 you. And out they go. So you are really streamlining what's important. Interesting, they give me a word that they gave our other caller, Denise, but streamline is important for you as well because less is more for you at this point in personal relationships. And it's more important for you to feel valued, loved, honored, and respected. It is very important for you to do work that is purposeful for you and creative, that makes you feel like you are lined up with the divine. And these are all things that you're striving to do. Is that true?
Yes.
And this is the time for you to make these decisions. Just be careful because you tend to hold on to things. I'm not going to say you hold a grudge, but I am going to say that sometimes it's a little difficult for you to forget what's happened between you and another. And what people have to remember is that if we care about people and we care about relationships, we know relationships will always step on someone's toes at one point or another because we're human and we come from our own place of wounds. So you want to remember that this person that I'm thinking of around you, that I'm feeling, you want to be sure that you're not holding on to the sense of you didn't let go of something that happened a long time ago. And really, it's like the foundation. It is the foundation of all the feelings that you're building on top of it. But is that original issue really still relevant at this time, or you're just holding on to it because you felt hurt? Does this make sense to you?
No, it's still relevant.
Well, don't hold on to it too much, all right? The emphasis.
I'm not holding on to the grudge. It's just like, there's certain things, I cannot work around them. It's just like it's always been there, and it's like every time you think like, okay,
we're
things
moving
have
on.
slowed down.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And every time you think you're in a better place, and it's just like, I'm sorry to say, it's just like I have that balls in my head that always say, I don't know, it's because I took accounting. It's like I always double check, and every time I double check, I see nothing is moving.
Okay.
So I just remove myself permanently.
Okay. But don't have a grudge for it, okay? Because I do see the conflict, and I do see a repeated pattern, and I see you holding on to something. So if you're truly done, then be done, okay? My guides tell me you have made all the right choices. Just don't hold on to a grudge. And clearly you've indicated back to me that there is something to feel like you got kind of, not the result you wanted, right? So don't hold on to the grudge, and don't let it carry forth in the dissolvement of this relationship, if that's what you're choosing to do, but also don't let it impact what's coming for the future, all right?
No, I wouldn't let it happen. I know the future is going to be better.
You've got a great new beginning coming for you in 2024. Well, thank you so much. It's a pleasure to connect with you. They're getting ready to wave me off for our commercial. We sure hope to see you at our live radio show in West Palm Beach.
Thank
Love
you.
to have you there, honey. Bye for now. Bye.
No problem. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
You got it. Bye. 866-972-7247. Write the number down. We'd love to hear from you. But for this moment, we're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors. And then when we come back to the phone lines all across the nation. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
The world is different now, and people have lost their way.
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 866-9-SARAHS. That's 866-972-7247.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
And now another Community First message from Robes.
When an auto accident occurs, stop immediately. Do not obstruct traffic and secure your valuables. Obtain the names, phone numbers, and addresses of the other driver and any witnesses. Call 911 and report the accident. Injured recently? Contact Robes Injury Law at 561-570-5700 or robeslawgroup.com. Offices throughout Palm Beach County.
WWNN Pompano Beach, WIRK HD3 Indiantown. Programming paid for by Vic Canales Media Group. Broadcasting from the Robes Studio. Injured recently? Call the Robes Law Group, where winning is a habit. 561-570-5700. 561-570-5700. Robes, winning for you and our community. Your home for the true Oldies channel.
I invite you to join me at the Delray Beach Chamber of Commerce, because here we're all about community. With like-minded people and businesses, the Chamber will help your business grow, and you get to connect with people that will become your best friends. Weekly events give you ample opportunities to learn alongside talented professionals. At the Delray Beach Chamber of Commerce, we are better together. Become a member at delraybeach.com.
Love the outdoors and the open road? Don't miss RV Hour, Saturday mornings at 10 a.m., hosted by Giant Recreation World's second-generation owner and CEO, Larry McNamara, and his co-host, Dwayne Adams. RV Hour, Saturday mornings, 10 a.m., right here on the True Oldies channel.
If you're hiring, it can feel like trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. Like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Now try ZipRecruiter free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/FREE.
With Progressive's Home Quote Explorer, you can check if you're paying too much for home insurance, because giving you options is the right thing to do.
Oh, you mean like when I let someone with less groceries go ahead in line? Sure, there's a part of me that thinks, if you only need 3 things, maybe go to a convenience store next time. And now they're sifting through coupons and my frozen foods are about to be not frozen.
But still, it's the right thing to do. So compare rates with Progressive's Home Quote Explorer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency on earth. And if you owe back taxes, the news isn't good. The IRS is raising the interest rate it charges on unpaid taxes, and further rate hikes are expected. Most people don't know it, but the IRS adds interest charges to your tax debts daily. So if you owe the IRS today, you'll owe even more tomorrow. And it doesn't stop until you get right with the IRS. The good news is getting right can start with one phone call to Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax relief firm. Optima's tax professionals specialize in the Fresh Start Initiative, a powerful IRS program that can save you thousands if you qualify. In fact, the experts at Optima have resolved over $1 billion in tax debt for their clients. Call now for a free consultation.
Call 800-953-1788. 800-953-1788. 800-953-1788.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
And now another community first message from Robes.
When an auto accident occurs, stop immediately. Do not obstruct traffic and secure your valuables. Obtain the names, phone numbers, and addresses of the other driver and any witnesses. Call 911 and report the accident. Injured recently? Contact Robes Injury Law at 561-570-5700 or robeslawgroup.com. Offices throughout Palm Beach County.
Hi, I'm Sarah Spiritual, the founder of the Expedito Enlightenment Center. I would love for you to visit me at my spiritual oasis located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard in the Tree of Life Plaza in West Palm Beach. Come, feel the energy, sample my spiritual sprays and oils, participate in one of my spiritual development classes, and have a personal reading with me, Sarah Spiritual. Let's see what Spirit has to say. You can call the Expedito Enlightenment Center at 561-682-0955. Not local? Visit me, Sarah Spiritual, at sarahspiritual.com for products, classes, and to book your personal session.
Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit sarahspiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up.
Come visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center for an extensive array of spiritual products, crystals, books, classes, readings, and healing services in a beautiful spiritual oasis. You must visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Come feel the energy and explore our unique products. Arrange for your own personal spiritual reading with Sarah Spiritual for spiritual insight. The Expedito Enlightenment Center is located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard, Suite 129 in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955. Visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. That's EXPEDITO Enlightenmentcenter.com for yourself. Or for a thoughtful gift, there's no better place to visit than the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955 or visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com.
This show is furnished by Sarah Spiritual.
The content, information, and opinions expressed during the related show are those of the show personalities and guest alone, and not those of Vic Canellis Media Group, its parent, affiliates, or stations. VCMG Live is not responsible for any content, information, or opinions expressed. User bears full responsibility for their reliance on such content, information, or opinions.
Welcome back to the next hour of Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, as we continue our uplifting and empowering spiritual discussion to transform your life. A gifted spiritual advisor, coach, and medium, Sarah Spiritual will assist you to connect to the light within and transcend beyond the limits of all experience and knowledge. We have another hour to listen and call in 866-9-SARAHs. That's 866-972-7247. And watch Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube, and you can share the love and light.
The world is changing now, and we don't know where to go. The world is different now, and people have lost their way. It's just not easy to be who we want to be, 'cause the world is changing now. We can't walk the way we did. We don't know the path. We have to listen to our heart, the ways that worked before, they don't work anymore. We have lost our love for everyone. We have hurt each other. The world is changing now.
The world, it's changing, and all of us are changing with it. And we've all gone through our share of challenges. We open up the show, we were talking about life and its challenges and how sometimes it brings us to our knees. And we're answering questions here at 866-972-7247 all across the nation. And we're answering Facebook and YouTube questions. Be sure to put your questions in the feed. We would love to connect with you. And we're going to go back to the phone lines. And I've got to go to Washington. I've got Manisha on the line. Manisha, how are you doing tonight?
Hi, Sarah. I'm doing okay. How are you?
I'm doing great. Good to connect with you tonight, Manisha. And Manisha, what is your question for us? What's presented challenges for you? How can we help you?
Well, I actually am calling, not necessarily for myself, but I've got a little one who is in turmoil right now, I should say. There's a lot of things going on with her, and the mama bear and me just kind of need to know, what can I do to help my baby?
Okay, great. So what is her birthday?
2/9/11.
Okay. So your little one is going through some metamorphosis, self-esteem, not feeling good about herself right now. Is this true?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. And was there an issue or something that spurred up in relation to someone else in her peer group, her friend group or something? Is she feeling left out or bullied in some way? Because I just feel like she doesn't feel like she fits in, is the words that they're giving me. Does this make any sense to you?
Correct. And not so much a peer group, but with her siblings.
Okay.
And actually, no, yes, I will agree, peer group, yes. Yes. Okay. I'm sorry, I will agree with that, yes.
Yeah, I that's the word Spirit used, and I feel like they were appropriate in the use of that word and the brushstroke, the feeling that they're giving me. They're giving me this feeling of things really are hard for her because she doesn't know how she fits into the picture. And she doesn't know how to interpret her place. You know, everyone assumes a role, especially in a family dynamic, but she doesn't really know where she is in it because everyone else is different.
Correct.
She's so different from everyone else. So she can see the similarities and the camaraderie between different groups of people in her peer group and even in the family unit. And she just doesn't relate to the same things. So she's got her beat of her own drum. But, you know, she's a visionary. She looks beyond things as they are. And she's really got a very old soul. And because she has an old soul, she doesn't see the world through this viewpoint that's kind of through a lens that has been kind of filtered for the others in the family. And so she's got a viewpoint as to how things are in the world. And so she's looking at life being much more complicated than everyone else is feeling. And she's very sensitive and she's very empathic. And she really needs to know that it's okay to be different and that she's all right by loving herself as she is and knowing that she'll evolve, and that because she's not feeling like she's fitting in, that means she's meant to lead. She's meant to be a way shower. She's meant to make a difference in other people's lives. Now, the interesting thing about this whole story that they're giving me is when I look at what goes on in her head, she overthinks a lot. Is that true? Her mind is always going? Yes?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And I've got this energy about her that makes me feel like she has some anxiety or angst. Is that true?
That is correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sleep is not right. Is she talking to a counselor or therapist at this time?
She is. We just got her signed up with one because she also, in addition to those things that you just mentioned, they have diagnosed her with an autoimmune disorder as well, and so they wanted her to get therapy as part of her rheumatology as well.
Okay. She needs it. This is why I asked.
Yes. So she.
Okay.
I'm sorry. So yes.
Very advantageous for her to process it, and she'll be able to manage this autoimmune disease. And I feel that once she's in a better mindset, a lot of the flare-up is the word they give me. A lot of the flare-ups will become minimized, and she won't have as many, and she'll be feeling much better. But there was a point where she could barely get herself out of her bed, yes? To some people, that would translate as depression.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Yes, that's exactly correct.
This year, so you know, Mama Bear, okay? This year is a year that was meant in her soul's journey to be challenging and difficult. So knowing that means it's part of the great plan. It's unfortunate to watch our little ones have to suffer, but this is part of her challenge that lifts her up to the next level and has her step into her true personal power. And when I look to next year and I go to the month of March, that's the marker they put on the calendar. The month of March makes me feel as if this is a good time for her to take care of herself, love herself. In March, things seem to springboard into a whole new vibe. Is she going to be changing any grade level coming out of next year's 2024?
She's going into the 7th grade in the fall.
In this fall. Okay, so that change really takes effect and really works for her in the second half of this change of school year. Okay?
Okay. And does she have, I guess, in terms of, because honestly, I've just been watching this going, oh my gosh, I don't know, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do to help her, and I don't want to make it worse for her. And just trying to listen to her and help her to try to figure out her thoughts, her feelings, and her emotions. But there's a lot of days where I think I might be making this worse.
Well, that's why.
I'm hoping that.
I understand, but that is why she's going to go to a therapist. So the therapist can give her the tools for navigating all these feelings. And all you can do is listen and try not to give much advice.
Okay.
You don't know what it's like to walk in her shoes. Her soul has its own journey.
No.
So let her navigate that with a trained therapist, and let's find different solutions to make her feel more participatory, active, less inflamed, less emotional. So think of things she enjoys to do and facilitate those things so that she has those happenings to kind of give her something to look forward to.
Right. And she's so funny because she likes certain things, and I'll get her in it, and then she'll, oh, I gotta go again. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, what do I do? You like this? Why don't you? So she's definitely, yes, she's definitely been a ball of emotions to try to navigate.
She has, but
I am glad to hear that
she will pass through this, Manisha. And also remember, there is a part of your daughter that's a little bit of a loner too. So she does like being by herself. So she likes the idea of showing up, but then when she realizes I got to keep showing up, oh, I kind of like being by myself because some of these people I don't know if I like. So I might like the activity, but I don't know. I like my own company better. So this is what goes on inside of her. So please know that. So this is where she is torn. I want to be apart, but I like to be by myself.
That sounds like her. That definitely sounds like her. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, what do I do with that? What do I do with that? I don't know what I do with that.
Just be patient and don't get frustrated. And if there's a time she doesn't want to go, say, okay, we won't go today. We'll go on Friday. And just try to be flexible with her. And you just give her that flexibility. Well, we trust we've been of service to you today.
Yes, you have. Thank you so much, Sarah. And one last thing, if you don't mind. Yes. I had a conversation with you back in March, and I spoke about my job, and you were letting me know that there was going to be a change in June, as a matter of fact. And I did end up, I was laid off from this job due to a reduction in the workforce. But at the same time, and the change in the career and doing things for myself, and at the same time, I started having clients coming in for my business.
Good.
An uptick in the clients coming in for my business. So we did end up actually having that changeover in career and a different direction that started this month, as you in spirit let me know.
Well, good. I'm glad. We appreciate the feedback and the confirmation from you. We greatly appreciate that. And thank you so much for listening to the show in Washington. We appreciate that as well. And glad to be a part of the same vibration here on the planet together. Thank you so much, honey. God bless you and your daughter. Bye for now.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank
bye.
you so much.
You're welcome. Bye. 866-972-7247. And we're going to go back to our phone lines. And I've got to go from Washington, we're going to Arizona. And I got LaTanya on the line. LaTanya, you've had your share of challenges, have you not?
I have. Yes,
and
ma'am.
You're making it through, even though at times you wonder, how am I going to make it through? Is that true?
Absolutely, 100%.
Yes, well, heir for the grace
Yes.
of God go I, and this is where you're finding yourself. And when I look at this
Yes.
year, this year is up and away, financial increase, working, building, branding. I feel like everything you've been wanting to do that got pushed back by a series of calamities of events is that true? We had a whole series of events that every time you
Yeah.
popped up, another calamity would hit you and you'd be
Yeah.
like, oh, good God, I'm down again. How is this possible? Like, this is like movie of the week, right? We should have a TV special. And here's LaTanya.
Oh
She's
my
going
God.
good. Here
Yes.
she is. She's going. And oh, no, she's down. She's down. Okay. We're going to watch her get back up again. And she's up. Okay. She's flying high, flying high. Oh, no, the wind died. She's crashed again. This has been your story now for the past 2 years, correct?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, absolutely.
Well, hold on to your hat. Because when you take flight this time, ain't no stopping you now. You're on the move, okay? This is the time for you to move, to groove, to grow. And I feel like some of the people in the circle, my guides go like this. They go, there's a circle, Sarah. And some of the people in the circle around you were not always sending you the best vibes. So that's been a problem. Because not everybody was supporting what you were trying to create. And because you had people around you that weren't kind of in the support mode of like, yay, Team LaTanya, they would go do something crazy, and then everything would fall down around you. And then LaTanya had to stop and clean up the mess, because ain't nobody cleaning up the mess. This is how I see it. This is true, yes?
Yeah. Yes.
And I have a fallout.
Yeah.
Do we have a fallout with someone that you were close to, a friend, or even maybe somebody in the family circle that you really thought was going to have your back, and now they don't?
Oh my God. Yes.
Oh my
Yes,
God,
ma'am.
yes.
There's a
I'm
young
telling
lady.
you, it's been a rough road.
Yeah.
Well, here's the
And-
best
and the
part.
fallout was
But
because-
LaTanya, listen to this. Here, just listen. Here's the best part. We are clearing the space of people that, and I do not care if you end up standing alone for a minute. This will be a blessing. Because you need to clear the deck so that you can truly be centered to receive the blessings that are coming for you. And there's an opportunity for everything that you thought passed you by to come back around in a slightly different fashion, not the way you imagined it to be initially. Because the way you wanted it to be was a little too much anyhow. Not that you weren't worthy and couldn't have it, but it was going to be too much for you to handle, sustain, and maintain. So now we were smart. We're like, okay, I can do what I want to do, but in a better way, a really more effective way for me, and I don't need to rely on enough people to be Team LaTanya. Okay, I don't need too many people to be Team LaTanya if I don't have to.
Okay.
All right.
Yes, ma'am.
Now,
Okay.
what is the burning
Well,
question now that I just gave you my whole speech?
Well, I have two sons.
Yes.
One of my sons is 31,
Mhm.
and one of my sons, he'll be 25 tomorrow. And unfortunately, they both have went to drugs, pills. And I just want to know, and my oldest son had a fiance,
Yeah.
and I thought they were getting married, but I
No.
think she cheated on him. I think that's why he's turned his wheel.
No.
But I just
No,
want to
no.
know.
No.
Is it gonna get better? Are they going?
They are
get
not
clean?
on the same page, he and his fiancée, because he was not showing up for her emotionally. And together they're kind of toxic. Okay? So this
Yes, ma'am.
relationship is not a healthy relationship for either one of them. And I'm not going to confirm nor deny in the spirit world whether she cheated. That's not relative in the story of your son, right? And she knows what she does for what the reasons she does it, but I will tell you that they're not on the same vibration. When you said, I have 2 sons and they've gone to, before you said where they went and what they were up to, my spirit said the dark side. Not a good space to be in, okay? They have crossed over to an area that is hard to come back from. And darkness is grabbing hold of them. And is it the older son that crashed the car?
Yeah, he has crashed the car.
I see an older son crashing a car. Okay? So clearly they're not in a place where they're accepting responsibility and really wanting to be participatory in this world, and they're looking for a means to just kind of veg out and escape. And the difficulty with any and all of these pills is we don't really know what these pills are anymore. So now you as the mother, as we'll use the mama bear term that our caller Manisha was using for herself, we'll put you in mama bear mode for a moment. And these are 2 grown-ups now, all right, who have made their path. But you as the mama bear can ask Archangel Michael to keep them safe, and as they begin to remove themselves from the dark side and the choices they've made and move themselves into a better path, which is possible, you need the angels' help. You need all of the angels to surround them, but particularly Archangel Michael is the angel of protection. And I really want to see the angel of protection surrounding both of your sons, okay? Your elder son really could benefit with a program because he's been playing around with stuff, be it alcohol, pills, for a while.
The youngest one?
The eldest one.
The older one?
Yes.
Okay.
So they both need help in taking themselves off this bad path.
Okay.
So whatever is available in your community to help them, please connect them with that. And they need therapy, they need help, they need to go to a place to get them off this addiction. Regardless of how often it is, they are still serving a dark energy.
Correct.
Okay?
Okay.
Which it's at this point, they may have made a choice. This is what I want to do, or I'm going to try, not knowing the Pandora's box of trap that they're opening for themselves and all the happenings that go with it. And now they can't just do it by themselves. So they're going to need assistance. But they don't need you to save them. They need you to point them in the right direction and encourage them to get the assistance they need, right? Because when we force someone to do something and they're not ready to do it, as I was talking to our caller in Virginia earlier about her partner, if he's not ready to really say, hey, I'm really here to show up, then sometimes people go along with it, but then they can't stay the course because they weren't fully committed in their soul, their spirit, their mind, their emotions, right? So we want your sons to commit to that without having to have a tragedy or a close call to put them in that place.
Yes.
And that's what we pray, okay? That they have their come to Jesus moment and they don't get anywhere near crossing over to get to know Jesus, so that they just be like, oh, wow, this is the moment I need to turn my life around, or there may be no turning back. We need that light bulb to go off within both of them. And that's the conversation that you have with God. That's a conversation I'll tell any parent who's going through this to have with God. Because every soul has its path, and we have the power to facilitate the change and hold the vibration so that when the push and the prompting comes from God, like, now's your chance, this is the window, go, make the change, that they do it instead of fall back to the lure of the illusion of the darkness. Truly a battle of good and evil here, right? This whole addiction is for everyone who's in this mess, battle of good and evil. It's the forces of energy, not the people participating. For you, I feel we're trying to finally get our life off track, back on track, off the path of stagnation, to have fulfillment in work, business, and money. But I also feel like there's some legal matter that's still pending as well. Is this true?
Legal matter for who?
For you. Is there some legal matter, some settlement, something going on, please?
Well, maybe this is a legal matter. I'm working with a company, well, with the state, and they're called Voc Rehab. Voc Rehab. Right now, I'm doing my like my business plan with one of the advisors.
Okay.
But once I finish, I have to take they'll present it all to the board to see if they'll give me the funding to actually open up and start the business.
Okay,
And
perfect. Yes, that
the
would be a
young lady
legal
told-
matter. Yes, thank you. Okay, got it.
Okay.
Yeah,
yes,
because I feel like there's money coming at the end of the story. So yes, perfect. So you're very much on track with where you need to go, and you're doing everything right.
Okay.
And your sons, we're going to pray.
Okay.
All right.
My sons what?
And your sons, we're going to pray for them
What?
so that they find their way.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Yes, ma'am.
Latanya, I need to take a commercial break. I trust I've been of service to you. Thank you for following the show, and we appreciate you.
Thank you. Appreciate you too, Miss Sarah.
Thank you. God bless you.
Thank
Keep
you
us
so much.
posted. We send the angels to your boys. Bye for now. Bye. 866-972-7247. We are answering your questions all across the nation right here on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah every Wednesday night from 6:30 to 9 p.m. We're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors, and then when we come back, we are going to come back to our phone lines and, of course, visit our friends on Facebook and YouTube. So stay with us, everyone. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Did you call me with your song? Because you know
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 866-9-SARAHS. That's 866-972-7247.
Come visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center for an extensive array of spiritual products, crystals, books, classes, readings, and healing services in a beautiful spiritual oasis. You must visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Come feel the energy and explore our unique products. Arrange for your own personal spiritual reading with Sarah Spiritual for spiritual insight. The Expedito Enlightenment Center is located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard, Suite 129 in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955. Visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. That's EXPEDITO enlightenmentcenter.com for yourself. Or for a thoughtful gift, there's no better place to visit than the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955 or visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com.
Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit sarahspiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up.
You are listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah Spiritual and be in the energy of light. Call right now, Sarah Spiritual, at 866-9-SARAHS. That's toll free, 866-972-7247. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube.
Do you know me? Do I know you? Have we met before? I've been standing in the room before I walk through the door. Do you know me? Have you heard me? Have you seen me? Do you know my voice? Did you call?
And we are back here live on VCMG answering your questions on the oldie stations. You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah all across the nation at 866-972-7247. And thank you for listening to us on 95.9, 106.9, 93.3, 96.9, 1470 AM, and 103.1 HD3. So glad to have you here. So glad to be a part of this experience and sharing in your lives every Wednesday night, 6:30 to 9 p.m. This is our 686, I don't know what's with me in numbers today, 868th live show tonight. And we're counting up to our 14-year anniversary gathering. That'll be live at the Expedito Center in West Palm Beach. So if you've been listening to the show and you would like to meet me, Sarah Spiritual, or have your question answered live in the audience during our live show and be a part of our fabulous drawings that we're going to have some grand prize winners for our Carnival, Margaritaville cruise, the Margarita at the Sea cruise. We've got a fabulous cruise that is for you to take. It is 3 days and 2 nights, taking you to the Grand Bahamas, and we would love for you to have an opportunity to win this certificate to go off on a cruise, and we've got 3 of these that we are giving away, and we have other prizes that we're going to be giving away at the center on the day of the live show. So it would be fabulous to have you join us there. Go to sarahspiritual.com. Be sure to register to get your general admission or your VIP seat. It is available online, and we have limited seating. We would love to have you join us. And so please go online and register. Love to see you there. We're going to go back to our phone lines, and I've got to go to Amanda, and Amanda is in Connecticut. Amanda, how are you tonight?
Hi, Sarah. How are you doing tonight down there?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much. We just got some thunderstorms pushing through right about now. I can hear them rumbling above the studio here, but we are all well here, and we're glad to have you calling us from Connecticut. I know you'd rather be here in South Florida, but good to have you, Amanda. And Amanda, what is your question for us tonight?
Talking about challenges, I've been in a lot of places with challenges in the last year, and just this year with a huge challenge that I've accepted the challenge. The last time I talked to you, I was at a tough spot, and so far so good with the pregnancy. I want to know what you see with the next 11 weeks left till Liliana comes, and with my grandparents, I've been connected my whole pregnancy with my grandfather and my step-grandmother, and some big opportunity that is coming my way.
Well, it's going to be a good time for you, and you need to stay in your lane and stay true to yourself. It is such an important time for you, Amanda, to really and truly trust the version of you that you are becoming. You are stepping into your womanhood. You're looking forward to being a mother, and this is a time for you to really create the world, the family, the life that you want. And when people are showing up and not being the person that you need them to be, then you need to hold your ground and stay firm to what it is you know you and your daughter deserve. And drama is not going to have a place in your life. So, we used to say when we did our Sunday Fun Day, we used to joke around and say we're done with drama. And so you have to be done with drama and not allow the opinions and the energy of others to impact the choices you make. You know intuitively the right thing to do. Your grandfather is with you from the other side, holding that energy, as is his wife, who just recently passed. They are very much with you, supporting you, almost as if your grandfather knew that you would be having a child and that this is part of carrying on the legacy of the family. And really, there's such an energy of love and compassion that comes from him from the other side. And he doesn't want you to lose yourself in the fact that love is kind and patient and always shows up at the perfect time. And you have to just trust that the love that you have for your unborn baby and the love that you had for your grandfather are the same vibration of the purity of love that you want to have with everybody around you in your life. And if people are not in that vibe, then you meet them where they are, you respect them for who they are, but they don't have to infiltrate your energy, your journey in a way that they can impact you and affect the choices that you make. It's really important for you to stay in your lane. My guides are like, just stay in your lane, Amanda. You're doing fine with the choices you make, and work's going to be there. You're going to have money. Things are going to work out. You're not going to be without, and you don't need the help of others that are not willingly helping you and are using it as an agenda and a manipulation game. You don't need that. Does this make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay. You're on track, Amanda. Is there a secondary question to this?
I did just step into a huge opportunity 2 years later to be on an opening team of a brand new store in my hometown. I got to set it up, and they got me on radar as stepping into that management position. Do you see that happening? And a lot of people have put in some good words, and all weekend I came home and told my mom, I hear my grandfather telling me, you did it 2 years ago at the ice cream shop. Just stay focused, still watching, and I just feel my grandfather's presence that I'm going to be able to step into that management position within the next few weeks of a brand new store in my hometown.
Yes. Is it the manager or the assistant manager that they're looking at you to fulfill? What role is it?
Right now, they have eyes for me to be assistant manager or key holder, but strongly for the assistant manager position.
Yeah, this is what I see. I see the assistant manager. This is why I use that phrase. Okay, assistant manager. So I do feel that is there for you. So just keep the vision and just hold that thought as you create what you want. All right, but this is what is in the journey for you. Yes.
I have been feeling as if my grandfather's trying to come through to me. Does he want his great-granddaughter to have his hat that's in my dad's car at the moment, to pass it down to his great-granddaughter? I keep feeling him coming through that he just wants her to have his special hat.
His hat? Are we talking about the hat?
Yes, that Dad has in the car at the moment in Florida.
I feel you want her to have the hat. I don't really feel that he's attached to the hat the same way that you are.
Okay, so I'm not really just feeling that presence and energy. I just keep feeling the hat.
Yeah, because it connects you to your grandfather. It's a significant memory, right? It's an item that ties you to him. It's something he was known for, right? And
yeah, I just put it on the wall somewhere in her room.
But he'll be there. He'll be there anyhow, with or without a hat, right? So
right.
You don't need the hat.
Okay. It's just a burning question that's just been on my mind, and I meant to ask you last time we spoke.
And, you can ask, who has it? His son? Your uncle? Who has it?
Yes, my dad.
Okay. Yeah.
Dad has it down
Your
there.
dad has it. So, you can ask your dad if he'd be willing to give it to you eventually so that you can keep it in your daughter's room, but I wouldn't push it and say that's what grandfather wants. I really think it's more what you would desire, which would kind of make you feel like you've got your grandfather there, but you don't need a hat for him to be there. He is there, okay? He's around you. He's
Oh,
helping
been
you. He's
connected.
guiding you, okay?
Okay. Thank you so much, Sarah. And I would love somehow, if universe allows it, to be at the VIP show next week somehow.
Well, never know what could happen, right? So we'll see. All right. God bless you,
right.
Amanda. Thank you. Bye for now.
Thank
Stay
you,
well.
Sarah. Good night.
Bye. 866-972-7247. We are answering your questions right here on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. And we're going to go to our phone lines, and we've got a call in Boca. We have Rochelle. Rochelle, how are you? Hello, Rochelle.
Hi. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great, and you?
I'm good. Good to connect with you. Is this your first time calling us?
I think I called last year. I'm not sure. I believe last year, but this year calling. I'm calling because that I met a new guy, and I'm getting some mixed signal. He's telling me that he was married before and he got divorced, and he's single, and he asked me to be in a relationship with him, but I'm getting those wrong signals. And then my second question
Okay,
is
hold
that
on.
I'm
Ooh,
on the
back it
path.
up. Back it up. Back it up. We're going to open up to spirit, okay? Because your second question and then your third question. Hold on here, Nellie. Let's go. Okay, so we've got this here. So first of all, I want you to know that this is really, the next 6 months is a time for you to kind of clean up the things that are you really looking at changing. I want you to get ready to change. Any movement that you want to make, if you want to move, if you want to make a change, this is the time to make moves and changes all the way to June of next year. So anything that you're contemplating about a physical move, a job change, this is really going to be an important time for you. Now, when I look at this gentleman, I need his birthday. What is his birthday?
September 4th.
Okay.
I can remember the year.
Okay. So first thing here, when I look at his energy, the first thing they make me aware of is that 2 years ago, he should have ended his marriage about 2 years ago or ended the relationship. Is that true? Do you know if he was going through a breakup or a divorce at that time, please?
Yes, he said he divorced with her 4 years ago, but it was another relationship.
Okay. Because I
But
see
they're
a
no longer
breakup
together.
in 2021. Okay. I see that breakup. So whoever he was separating from. Here is a guy who's really not sure what he wants. That's a red flag, as they say, right? He doesn't know what he wants in a relationship. And this is why you're getting these mixed signals, because he's trying to be who he needs to be to get to know you, but he's not really being transparent and authentic so that you can get to know him. So this is where you're not feeling the connection is solid and true. You're kind of feeling like there's something he's not telling you, or my guides are telling me something he's hiding. Yes?
Yes. Oh my God.
Okay. Now, when I look at where he is in this journey, this year is really representative of him really kind of focusing on building himself, and I don't feel like his career, his finances are where they need to be, and that's really where his focus has to be. And he sometimes gets into his mood of he needs to kind of play around and, not take life as seriously as he should, and this is the year for him to learn to take life seriously. So I want you to really just take a good step back and see if he does his part to now pursue you. He's got to chase you and pursue you and show you what you need in order for you to even give him the time of day. He's not doing enough of that. He's not being consistent in his outreach, okay? So I feel like he's still on the playing field, even though he's trying to make it seem like he's sitting back in the benches, right? He's not. He's still kind of out there. So I don't feel like that's the person that you're really gravitating to that's going to be a solid person, because you've already had that experience of somebody not being authentic and true. So we don't need that, okay?
Yeah.
Now,
Yes.
what is your second question?
My second question is that I'm trying to buy my first home, and I don't know if you see it coming now or next year.
Next year. This year, things are not in order enough. We don't have enough lined up financially. We're not in the right place to really get the house that we really want without having a lot of complications and being stressed and pulled to the max. And I feel like next year brings you an opportunity to bring in more money as well, because I feel like you're working on advancing something in your career. Is that true?
Can you repeat that?
I feel like you're advancing yourself in work and career right now, that's something that you're looking to do to increase your ability to earn money. And this is a time for you to focus on that.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can go back to school to get another, try to do something different.
And this will bring you more revenue, more money, right? We're investing in ourselves, right? So we need to get these things moving in that path right now. That's the focus. And 2024 starts this really great new beginning for you. That is the perfect time for you to kind of start all over again and get a new house.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
So when you're looking at calculating this, look at where you are now, where you're living, how much time you have there, and see how much more time you need for the credit and the finances and getting them in place.
Yes. Yes.
We got a little work to do.
Thank you so much. Yes, we do.
You're welcome,
Oh my
Rochelle.
God. Thank you so much.
We greatly appreciate it, and we appreciate you following the show and remembering to call back in. It's always a pleasure to have you call back.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bye for now.
Oh, bye.
We're going to check in with our friends on Facebook and YouTube and see what's going on there before we close the show. And let's take a look and see who has a question or a comment for us in our Facebook feed and our YouTube feed. Let's take a look at what we have there. So we'll just pull that up if you would, please. We're waiting for that. Thank you. We'll take our comments as well. They must be moving a little slow on the board there, so we appreciate that. Thank you so much. If we can pull up any comments and questions that we have there in the feed, we greatly appreciate that. All right, guess they are, well, I guess they're caught up in that right now. So we're going to take a minute and just go over what we've got coming up before we get ready to close the show. We have just a couple of minutes. I want to thank you all for joining us here on VCMG on the Oldies station. Love having you here on our Facebook and our YouTube feed. We greatly appreciate all that have stepped up to be a part of this experience. And we do look forward to seeing you on this coming Wednesday night live at the Expedito Enlightenment Center at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard, located in the Tree of Life Plaza. Plenty of parking, ability to connect with us. We'd love to have you register so that you have your admission ticket. So if you're a VIP, you get 3 entries in our Grand Bahamas drawing that is happening live during the radio show. So we would love to have you be a part of this raffle. And we're also giving away other prizes and other fabulous opportunities. So we would love to see you there and share in the excitement and the powerful connection of all of us in community. And as we do this, we're looking forward to really bringing community together with all of you. Now, if you'd like to learn more about a personal session with me, you can go to sarahspiritual.com. There you'll see an array of spiritual services that I offer, your general session, your connecting with your spirit guide, working with your inner child, and connecting into your soul. And we do past life regressions as well as some energetic healing. So visit sarahspiritual.com, go to the sessions page. And if you'd love to be mentored by me, Sarah Spiritual, for a one-on-one, we are taking just a few people that we are going to be mentoring on their journey to accomplish a better connection with the divine, developing their spiritual skills, or perhaps working on building that brand or that business. We're going to kind of put it all together and assist you in whichever way you need coaching. We are going to make ourselves available for these next few months during the summer. We're in summer school with Sarah Spiritual. And yes, keep an eye out. We're going to have our classes at the center coming back in just a few weeks. We've got you in summer school. The song may go, "School's out for summer," but in our case, we're about going back to spirit school, and that'll be at the end of July. So we look forward to having you join us for that. Thank you for sharing time and space with us. We look forward to next week's show and seeing as many of you as would love to come at the Expedito Center. We wish you so many blessings. Good night. God bless you. And I am Sarah Spiritual.
Where to go? The world is different now, and people have lost their way. It's just not easy to be who we want to be. 'Cause the world is changing now. We can't walk the way we did. We don't know the path. We have to listen to our heart. The ways that worked before, they don't work anymore. We have lost our love for everyone.
This has been Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. You can hear and speak with Sarah Spiritual every Wednesday from 6:30 to 9 p.m. Each week, Sarah Spiritual and Spirit answer your most important questions as you navigate through life. Listen and call in next week and let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit guide you. If you didn't have a chance to speak with Sarah Spiritual tonight, visit Sarah at sarahspiritual.com. You can message Sarah Spiritual at Facebook and follow her on Instagram. Tune in every Wednesday from 6:30 to 9 p.m. with more from Spiritually Speaking with Sarah.